Feel the emotions, but release it. Don't keep dwelling and sitting in it, because you'll look up and you'll be sad for years over something that happened years ago. Hey sis, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, go ahead and click the subscribe button, because I promise you're gonna love it here. So I've always just naturally been a really sensitive person, and I've been working on it. Like, I've been doing better with not letting everything get to me as much as it used to back when I was younger. But I found myself kind of back at square one a few days ago when somebody that I actually really like had said something that really hurt me. And it's weird because it has something to do with the last video where I was talking about getting out of situationships, and this kind of helped me take that next step to actually let go of that situationship, if you guys get what I'm trying to say. And yeah, but I did find myself really, really sad over what this person had said to me. And I know that this was just the final straw for me to actually finally break away and let go. But it did really hurt me, and I found it hurt me for like a week, and I kept replaying the same thing that they said to me and feeling like doubting myself. I found myself back at square one with that. So I wanted to share some tips on how to control your emotions and how to not let certain things get to you, because it's been helping. It's been working for me. It's just I kind of got a little bit sidetracked with that one situation because it was a specific person. But when I make these videos, I feel like I'm basically talking to myself, because each and every video I make correlates with my life and how I got through it. So when we talk it out, it's like kind of like an open diary for me. So when I'm making these videos, I'm talking to myself as well, because I am not perfect. I'm still learning. So I just like to do stuff with you guys as well. So we could all kind of take these steps and elevate and grow together. So in today's video, I'm going to be giving you guys some tips on how to stop letting certain people hurt you and control and take your power back over your emotions and your feelings. So without further ado, let's jump right into this video. The first thing you're going to do is not take everything so personal. I used to be the type of person where everything somebody said to me, I took it to heart, I took it personal, until I realized that every time somebody says something to you, no matter good or bad, it's just a projection of how they feel about themselves. Some people are just naturally rude, mean-spirited people, and I used to take that so personal, like, oh my gosh, like, I'm doing something to make them hate me, I'm doing something to make them want to diss me, when in actuality, it's not that. It's like they're just naturally mean, rude-spirited people. And a lot of times, stuff can be rooted in jealousy. So you gotta watch out for that too. Sometimes people just aren't happy with themselves and with their lives, so they just project that onto you. You also gotta look at their lives and where they're at. Not saying like, oh, they're bums or they're this, they're that, but sometimes if somebody else is not happy with their life, they want to make other people feel the same way they feel inside. So make sure you're not taking everything personal. Once I stopped taking stuff personal, I was like, okay, you got it. That's how you feel. You're not going to put that onto me. You're not going to project your energy onto me. You'll feel a lot better. Understand that it's not personal. It's just their issue. You have nothing to do with them. They want to say what they want to say to you. It is what it is. They can go somewhere else. You're also going to want to limit certain people's access to you. So, for example, if you have this person in your life that's constantly rude or that's constantly hurting your feelings, because more than likely when we get our feelings hurt, it's by like the same person. The same person does it over and over again. It's not just like one-time instinct. They seem to hurt us constantly over and over again. And no matter how much you love that person, you have to put yourself first and understand that just because you love this person doesn't mean that they have the right to constantly make you feel a certain way. Trust your energy. If you feel when you're around a certain person, then after you're around that person, your energy just feels sad, you feel insecure. More than likely that person is not for you. You need to limit your access to them. I had to do that too. I had a bunch of friends who every time I was around them, I felt less than. My energy was just all the way off. And I had to kind of distance myself from them and let it go and understand that God's gonna bring me more people into my life. I'm just setting myself back multiple steps by allowing certain people to stick around that mean me no good, make me feel a certain way, make me feel insecure. You know, what's for you is not going to hurt you. What's for you is not going to constantly make you feel a way. People can tell you that they don't like you without telling you. Their action will speak for itself. My mom always told me, never let somebody show you they don't want you more than once. Somebody could say they don't care about you without saying it. Their actions will show it. You know it. We know it. We just don't want to kind of face the truth, and we don't want to let it go. We don't want to limit someone's access to us, but it's time to really let go. This whole year is about letting go of what's not for us, and I had to do that a few days ago. I just let it go. I was like, okay, this person constantly makes me feel less than. This person constantly makes me feel like I'm not enough. So why am I keeping myself in this situation just because I love that person? You have to love yourself more. You have to put yourself first, your emotions first. If you love yourself and you put your emotions first, you're not going to let somebody else who's bringing you down, messing up your energy back into your life. You're going to distance yourself and elevate. We also can express our feelings. This one was a little bit easier for me because I was naturally just a person that expresses my feelings. But when somebody does something that we don't like and it's getting to you, kind of express that. Like, be like, I didn't really like how you did that, especially if it's your significant other. Be open with them and tell them, like, that makes me feel this way when you do that. If they constantly seem to do it and they're just insensitive to how you feel, you know what you gotta do, sis. You have to let it go and distance yourself. You're not gonna allow anybody into your life that constantly makes you uncomfortable. This is your life. Why would you make yourself uncomfortable, make yourself sad just to fit into someone else's world? No, they need to fit into your world by being respectful, by showing you love, by showing you grace. Form your own opinion about yourself. When I was insecure and I thought I was ugly and I thought I wasn't worthy of love, I found that when other people projected that onto me, I felt even worse because I was believing them. But once I started to build my confidence up and I was like, I'm very beautiful, I have a beautiful personality, anybody that comes to my life needs to show me love and kindness. I didn't let certain stuff get to me. And also, you won't really attract lousy people when you love yourself. It's like some weird thing with the universe where you attract what you believe. So if you believe that you love yourself, you believe that you're that girl, you're going to attract people who come with you as if you're that. But if you have low self-esteem, most of the time from experience, when I had low self-esteem, I was attracting people that just played on it and made it worse. I was attracting hateful, mean, conniving people. Sometimes people are just naturally mean, so you're always going to get hate comments. Let's say you're online. You're going to just get hate comments. With those, you just got to be like, okay, I know who I am. I know I love myself. That doesn't even matter. But for the most part, when it comes to intimate relationships, most of the times when you love yourself, you attract good people. Stay mysterious. The less you say, the less people can use against you. I used to be such an open book. I used to just be so willing to let people into my area, willing to let people into my space, because I'm naturally just a sweet, kind person, and a lot of people are. But I used to just, be willing to just tell my whole life story to other people, thinking that they were the same people that I am, thinking I was going to get that in return. And a lot of the times, especially people that you're just meeting or people that you're not too close with, even close people, they'll use that against you, and they kind of start to figure you out and be like, okay, and they'll get more comfortable with you and comfortable with doing stuff that is going to cross that limit and hurt you. When somebody's not comfortable with you, they're not going to do certain things to you because they don't know your limits. They don't know if they need to test you. If somebody knows every single detail about you, they're comfortable with you, meaning they're comfortable doing certain things to you. Look at it like a situation with your sibling. We're comfortable talking however we want with our siblings most of the time because we've known them our whole lives. We really know them. But if it's a person that we just met, we're not super comfortable doing certain things to them. Look at that when it comes to friendships or people coming into your life, even if that be a significant other. Be a little bit standoffish at first, not rude, but don't give it all up at once. Don't give all yourself to somebody at once. Hold it back a little bit and give some to yourself. Leave some stuff for you. Not everybody is somebody that you need to be venting to. Some stuff nobody needs to know. Some stuff is just for you. Not even your closest friends need to know. Some stuff is really just for you. I had to learn that too because I was the type of person where I loved to vent and just talk. But I realized that that's not always the way to go because the more people know I found in my life, the more that they kind of get comfortable with saying certain stuff to you or using your stuff, your past against you. For example, let's say you're messing with a lousy dude, and he's just really, really lousy. He cheats, he's, all these things. When you tell your friends about it, but you're telling them a little bit too many details, like a little bit too much about your personal life and how you feel about yourself, they're going to constantly use that against you, depending on who your friends are. I found that certain people use certain stuff against you, and they don't let you grow out of that. So the best thing to protect your feelings and your emotions is to keep it to yourself. Another good way to keep it to yourself, if you like to vent, journal it. Journal down your emotions. Journal down how you feel. I used to record myself like how I'm doing right now, but on my phone, record myself talking about something I'm sad over. Even if I was crying, I'll record myself crying, talking out, venting out, because you're letting it out outwardly, but it's not telling anybody else your darkest, deepest secrets, so nobody else's opinions can hurt you on that situation. You're just giving it to you and God. Journaling also helps with knowing your limits. So when I journal and I write out what hurt my feelings, why I hurt my feelings, it's good for me to go back and look at it, and then I understand, okay, this is what I don't like, this is what I do like. So I know what people to go towards, what people not to. So everybody is different. Everybody has different limits. I know that I probably wouldn't mesh well with a person who's just super duper blunt and too straightforward because I'm a sensitive person, like I said, so that wouldn't mesh well. well. Not saying that anything's wrong being blunt, but they would just mesh well with somebody else. Certain people will mesh well with certain people. We all have different limits when it comes to our feelings. We all have different things that hurt our feelings. Some things that doesn't hurt my feelings won't hurt your feelings. Certain things that hurt your feelings won't hurt mine. But that does not mean that your emotions are not validated. We all need to be respecting each other's emotions and how we feel. And if something somebody does gets to you, even if it's not that major, if that triggers you, triggers your childhood trauma, triggers something in you, it's okay to be like, okay, I know this is not somebody I want in my life. You could write that out. Understand your triggers and understand what you don't want to allow. We're gonna stop glamorizing our sadness. You ever like get sad, then you search up a sad song and then be like, okay, I'm gonna cry to this whole playlist, or get sad and then just keep replaying that same memory in your mind so you could be sad again? Because I'm guilty of doing that. I'm very, very guilty of doing that because I love a good cry. But I found that when I just constantly, keep myself in a sad space, that's exactly what it does. It keeps myself in a sad space. I'm not saying don't cry over a situation, because I personally am one that feels like crying really helps release emotions, and you need that time to yourself, but do not dwell and soak in it. When I say that, I mean cry for a day. Even if you need a whole week to be sad, even if you need a whole month to be sad, but don't soak in it. Don't bring in sadness into your life. Don't do stuff to purposely make yourself sad. Don't keep replaying it in your mind. Like I always say, let it go and release it. Feel the emotions, but release it. Don't keep dwelling and sitting in it, because you'll look up and you'll be sad for years over something that happened years ago, and you really can't move on. So a really good way to control your emotions is let yourself be sad in the moment, but also let yourself get over it. Another way, like I said, to get over stuff is really journaling. When I release it by journaling, when I release it by talking to my camera, it really helps me. It helps me just to let it go and understand that, okay, this is just a part of life. And then it's really cool when you go back on your journaling and look at what you were sad at a few months ago and be like, wow, like that wouldn't even get to me now. Or wow, I'm so over this now. Like that's crazy that I was on it then, Just don't go back to stuff until you're healed from it. So even if that means you can't go back to that person until you're healed from it completely, you can't hang out with that friend until you're healed from something that happened around that time. Just give yourself time to heal. Do not glamorize your sadness and just want to be sad. Because sometimes, a lot of the times, we just want to be sad. I remember I was so used to being the victim that I would just try to victimize myself, because growing up I would be teased and bullied. I would just be so used to that feeling that I would just want to be sad because it's a comfort zone for me, until I realized, no, just because I'm comfortable being sad, just because I'm comfortable being a victim, doesn't mean I have to be a victim. I control my mind. I control my feelings. I can say, I'm not a victim. This situation made me sad. It made me cry for a week, 2 weeks. I'm heartbroken, but that's not my story. You have sadness in your story, but your story is not sad. Your story is full of victory. Your story is full of glory. Your story is full of prosperity. It's our choice to live in that and understand that sad times come, but that's not our story. We create our stories. Which leads us into our mindset shift. We're going to shift our mindset and how we view things. Meaning, if somebody is treating you bad, we're not going to look at it like, why are they treating me like this? We're going to look at it like how I said earlier, that's their character, and we're not going to change for them. If we're not making them feel away, they're just making us feel like trash. They can't seem to do right by us. They can't seem to treat us how we are deserving to be treated. They have to go. Like I said earlier in the video, limit access, but sometimes you just have to cut it off completely. It's your world. We're not going to shift ourselves to fit in somebody else's world. No, if they're not coming with the right criteria to treat you the right way, to make you feel how you're supposed to feel, then they just have to go. They're not a part of your story. They won't be a part of your story. They don't deserve to be a part of your story. Remember that. Keep that in mind when you're dealing with your emotions and your feelings. Your emotions are valid. Who you keep around says a whole bunch. We're going to be cutting people off all 2024 if they make you feel any kind of way. If somebody makes you feel uncomfortable in your world, that's a sign that they do not need to be in your world, period. But I feel so much better, you guys, talking it out and then posting and then you guys commenting and we conversate makes me feel a lot better too, because like I said, a lot of the times when I'm talking about stuff that's happening in my life, and this is how I heal. I journal everything out and then I say it outwardly to you guys and try to give tips that give solutions on how to work on it, and then we just do it together and grow together. But I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.